It's the NFL on EA Sports, where division rivals will clash in the AFC East. It's the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets, and it's kicking off next on Madden NFL 23.
Well, we are about a $50 cab ride away from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today, we've got an AFC East matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. And a welcome in, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, so much gets made about offensive comparisons. Here's a matchup where the defenses may just take center stage.
Yeah, we're usually talking about guys scoring touchdowns. How about the guys who prevent them and change the momentum of the game when they take the ball away? I love those ball hawks in the secondary. People after my own heart.
Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and off we go from MetLife Stadium. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. We get our first look at this New York Jets offense, really retooled the last couple of seasons. And at the helm under center, second overall pick from 2021 out of BYU, Zach Wilson.
It was an educational rookie season for Zach Wilson, who was drafted to be the eventual face of the Jets as the team worked through a lengthy rebuild. 2,300 yards and 9 touchdowns as a rookie. He did miss some time mid-season with an injury, but I really like the work that the Jets have done to put people around him and give him his best opportunity to be not only the face of this franchise, but get him back into perennial playoff contention.
Wilson going to come out throwing. He finds Corey Davis, and they're able to get this one across the 35. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play.
In 2021, Corey Davis made the move from the Tennessee Titans to the New York Jets, but injuries limited to only 9 games. When healthy, though, he had begun to show the promise that made him a top 5 pick by the Titans. A promising rep there, getting a first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. His throw incomplete.
They are such a talented team at defending the perimeter and taking away throws to the outside. Great confidence, great skill.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Shotgun snap and a give to Carter. And he's got some space. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. You talk about explosion plays. Here's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate, big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. He's got it, and the Jets lead 7-0. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it was Michael Carter who finished it all off with a touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And here comes the Miami offense now, and it's the southpaw in his 3rd season at the wheel for the Fins. Quarterback Tua Tagovailoa.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game, almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, our team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not, just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
Let's do our thing, let's do our thing. Let's do this, man. It's game time.
Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, 2nd down.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
A run for the first time with Myles Gaskin. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Edmonds. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
You know, it was tough for them to stand on the sidelines and watch the other team take it downfield and score, wasn't it? So they knew when they got on the field, it's on them. Pick up first downs, get downfield and score. How about them picking up that 3rd and short?
I was just going to say, you and I were talking before the game, those 3rd down conversions are going to be huge in this one. Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. He completes it to Wilson. Now a run straight ahead with Edmonds. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Edmonds has increased his yardage every season in the NFL, but an injury sidetracked what was expected to be his breakout season. Now at Miami, he is someone they signed, expecting him to be the lead man in the backfield with several talented runners.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. Second down at 4. Back to the running game with Mostert. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up first and goal.
That solid gainer will put them on the doorstep to the end zone. More importantly, it gives them a fresh set of downs. Nice work right there.
First and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. From the gun, it's Tua. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill on the touchdown pass from Tua. And the Dolphins respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with a touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Braxton Berrios selected to bring it out. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
Now Wilson looking sideline, incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A give, Carter running right. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position. We just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. On 3rd down, Wilson. Now this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
And I think this is a situation where a quarterback coach on the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
So Miami coming out for their second drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Touchdown, Dolphins! Chase Edmonds, 51 yards. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. Sanders now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe you give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Out of the gun, they run with Carter. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. He finds his man, complete. It's Wilson. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now Wilson on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. That's Carter. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 47. Now it's Wilson. Forced out to his left. Back-to-back catches here for Carter. And he is going to lose yardage here. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, And it's second down. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
On second down, a run with Carter. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down. Wilson. And that will be incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Let's go, man. Here we go.
Now the Jets send on Braden Mann to punt. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Setting to throw on first down is Tua. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up second down. Tua sets up to pass it, throwing quickly to Wilson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 11 yards for number 11. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Up the middle they go with Mostert. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Second down, here's Mostert again. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. 3rd and 1, and Tua wants to throw it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Here's Thomas Mostert on now to punt it away on 4th down. The Jets have Braxton Berrios back deep. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field.
The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10.
At their own 16.
They'll start this drive with a handoff to Carter.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw here going to be caught by Wilson.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
Wilson to Wilson there. Zach to Garrett for a Jet 1st down. A give up the middle to Carter.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Get some love. Come on, let's go. Let's dominate this. Let's be smart. Let's play big time now. Hold up, baby.
Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score. 2nd quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. Wilson. This one caught by Davis.
Wilson on the hook up to Davis. 1st down Jets.
Looking to throw. Wilson. It's complete. He dials up Davis once more. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down. Here's Wilson. Open man here is Conklin.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 47. To throw again is Wilson. Now he's forced out right. Throw right side complete to Carter. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy and sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket. Out routes are always timing routes, and if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. This offense so far on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Again, Wilson. To the right side, and he's got more, complete. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get him the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Fourth down, here's Wilson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you punt the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Throwing now is Tagovailoa.
Open net is Waddle, complete. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Tua now on 1st down. And incomplete on the deep ball. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
A run with Mostert up the middle.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Tua going to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Now Wilson down around his goal line. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. 25 yards that time.
And they were backed up to start the drive, but not anymore. Now, that's the play call that the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing is Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Carter. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a 1st down, a nice consistent gain.
On 1st and 10, it's Carter. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Wilson. He'll get that one to Carter complete. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. They'll run with Carter. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 83 yards rushing here for Carter and a 1st down.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
On 1st down, Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Davis. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. Four yards remain for 2nd down. Now Wilson. Right back to Davis. It's complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That's good for 28 yards. Now it's Wilson. This is caught. Touchdown, Jets. Tyler Conklin, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Jets go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Now Zerline on to add the extra point. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. That time a 9-play drive. And it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. Dolphins offense returning to the field. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll start things out by handing to Edmonds. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Again, they run with Edmonds. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They hand it off to Mostert. And he'll be tackled at the 45 following a gain of just 2.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. That's out to the flat for Edmonds. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now the veteran Thomas Mostert on to punt it away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Jets get going again, led by quarterback Zach Wilson. The returns on the last drive, pretty good. 7 for 7, touchdown pass. Probably take that, right?
I would say so. I mean, when you're cutting them apart that way, feeling so accurate, so confident going downfield, and then able to culminate by putting it in the end zone, oh, yeah, he's feeling real good right now.
Now he'll try to carry that over to this drive. They'll start on the ground. Carter. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. He's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Running left on the handoff, Carter. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A nice stick and stop for a loss there from Jalen Phillips. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Draw play, Carter. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
107 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Here's Wilson to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on third down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
Let's go now. Let's go.
On fourth down, punt coming from Braden Mann. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. To his throw, caught by his receiver Hill. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
On first down, Tagovailoa. That's going to be caught by Waddle. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Meanwhile, Tua's throw here taken in by Gesicki. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And again, it's Tagovailoa. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Well, their first two drives yielded touchdowns, so there's no reason for them to feel like they have to pull back on the reins. They pushed it downfield, looking for another one right there. Didn't get it, but we know they're going to continue to be bold.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And this one is incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Sanders' kick is good. And the Dolphins have come back now to regain the lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal, you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This one taken just inside the 10. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Final play of the half, it's Wilson. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And this is caught inside the 5. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everyone, to our brand new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, time for a check of the next-gen stats from that first half for Miami. And they've had some success on the ground, and with the lead going into the second half, they'll no doubt be looking to keep it going. Meanwhile, for the Jets, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football, and they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. This one fielded at the 5. And he takes this near the 25, just a little past there, call it the 26. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game, 1st and 10 here. Now a pass that's taken in by Hill. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Tyreek Hill's got another one. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. From the 47, it's 2nd and 5. They run out of the shotgun with Mostert. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
Let's go, baby. Hey, praise y'all. Playmakers, step up right now. Let's rock and roll, baby. Hey, let's go.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down. Here's Tua. And Abel puts it on the carpet. It's out. And he's got room. The 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. So that's about as fortuitous of a bounce as you're going to find as it's scooped up and taken in for the touchdown.
And I love how you use the word fortuitous there, because as that popped up, he just happened to be in the right place, grabbed it, and found his way into the end zone.
Sanders on for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that drive, 4 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome, a little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
Now Carter to start the drive. They find some open field here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 132 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then? You take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game. And I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 34-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards and it moves the sticks. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Carter straight ahead. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. It's caught by Davis. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
It's game time.
5 yards remain on 2nd down. A handoff for Carter. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Another tote for Carter. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And he's got his man on the out route. And the Jets are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, he does have 1 touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him 1st and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a 2nd time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play. They'll run with Hall. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. To throw is Wilson. Now he's forced out left. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. The Dolphins do the job defensively there, and now it brings up 4th.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
So Wilson runs off, and now they will go to the man they call Greg the Leg, Greg Zuerlein. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and this is back down to a 7-point game. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. From the 6. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Well, in the process of that kick return, it appears we had an injury. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. He'll get it once more into the hands of Hill. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a 1st down.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. He'll swing that out to Edmonds. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
That's right, dog.
Here's 2nd and 9. On the handoff, this is Mostert. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 28. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
For the middle linebacker to 4-3, so often the captain of the defense gets them all lined up, and the captain made a great read there to snuff that play out.
And so much of being a good tackler is understanding and taking the right angles to a ball carrier. And that was just tremendous straight line speed there. He eliminated the angles and was able to meet his man behind the line of scrimmage.
And the next-gen stats show us the top speed there, better than 18 miles an hour.
A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. Tua going to throw. That's complete to Edmonds, his running back.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
I just know defensively, when you see third and long, you just tell each other, guard the sticks. Don't let them get to the first down line. Anything underneath will make the play. But you have to take care of all responsibilities and know that they swing it out to a back, one-on-one tackles in the open field are critical. And if you miss, sometimes you end up on the wrong side of that first down gain.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
This pass nabbed by Waddle along the sideline.
And he'll be out of bounds. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a first and goal.
You know what we need, baby. Come on, baby. Let's go. Let's dominate this.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Getting the sack, the 227-pound linebacker, Quan Alexander.
The first and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on second and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Up the middle they go with Mostert.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown.
Raheem Mostert
With his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Dolphins have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead now up to 14. So that one a long 11-play drive.
And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Raheem Mostert.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Running back Michael Carter returning to the field with the rest of this offense.
He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the one touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. Play action. Now Wilson. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Second and 10. It's Wilson again. Over the middle, complete. That's Carter.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Once again, we got to give it all to you. Let's go. Let's ride out. Let's ride out. Show what you got.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. Here's the Jets punter now as he's on to kick it away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. Call it 38 yards on the punt, no return, and it'll be Dolphin football. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They'll start on the ground with Mostert. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
On 2nd and 7, Tua. He'll get this underneath to Edmonds. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run here with Mostert. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
Here's Thomas Mostert now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty. Trailing here in the 2nd half, went for the aggressive play, got a little too aggressive.
You've got to know when to pull up, or if you're going to go for it, how to take your body across a punter's body and not into him. Not a good play at all.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. That's out to the flat for Edmonds. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Tua. That's going to be caught by Waddle. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Tua setting up shop to throw again. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Jalen Waddle there. And now it's 3rd down.
So many things have to go right for any passing play to work out. Quarterback has to understand the defense, deliver an accurate ball. Receiver has to concentrate and bring it in. Somewhere along the assembly line, something was off with that one.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And that's incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game. Now this one now not over yet, Charles. You've got a sliver of hope on that other sideline.
You certainly do, because that would have made it a 3-score game, and that probably would have been curtains at that point. But now if they can get down the field quickly and somehow get the ball back one more time, we may have a different ball game.
Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. Well, they didn't fall behind any further thanks to that missed field goal, but still staring at this 4th quarter deficit. Good starting position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Throwing is Wilson. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
On 2nd down, a run with Carter. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. That's a screenplay here for Carter. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Now it's Wilson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. Again, Wilson. And that is incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
So Wilson runs off, and now they will go to the man they call Greg the Leg, Greg Zuerlein. Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Rookie Jermaine Johnson going all the way from last chance U to now dropping NFL quarterbacks.
Jermaine Johnson had a roller coaster of a first day of the 2022 NFL Draft where he expected to possibly go in the top 10. But the New York Jets were happy to trade up and take him 26th overall. They think he's got top 10 talent and can be the centerpiece of their pass rush plan.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. On the right side, open is Gesicki. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Here's Tua. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
35 yards that time on the punt. And the Jets will take over. New York's offense back out there and set to go. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. To throw is Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Nick Needham picks it off, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, But if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
After the turnover, it's Tua. And he's got it. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Dolphins have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. They had the short field and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Takes it at the 7. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Here's Wilson. They'll set up the screen to Carter. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where his coaches You're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. Right back to Davis. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Let's do this, man. Here we go. It's one play at a time, baby. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. To throw again is Wilson. Completes it to Davis. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 29-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
From the 24, Wilson. Throw right side complete to Carter. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. Now they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Throwing again here, Wilson. Back-to-back catches here for Carter. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Oh, we're always talking about the athleticism we see from these guys on the field. How about the intelligence as well? He recognized that there was a screen pass on that one, broke off his pass rush, and got back to tackle the running back. That's great scouting and great reaction.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Wilson will throw again. Eluding the pressure right. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Zach Wilson, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Jets have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. The 4th quarter touchdown there, back to a 2-score game, but time is not their ally.
No, it's not, partner. They still have a pulse, but it's probably a little weak right now. A lot of things have to go right in these final 2 minutes plus for them. I think they have to be thinking onside kick here, and we know how difficult those are to recover.
Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Dolphins are going to recover. The 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
A run with Mostert up the middle.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line.
48 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he'll get this to the 22. So they began the play at the 11, and it's a gain of 11. First down. Once again, it's Mostert. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They hand it off to Mostert. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this third down. From the gun, a run with Mostert. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. So on 4th down, Dolphin kicker Jason Sanders comes on. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. Fielded right around the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here's Wilson and the Jets down by 2 touchdowns, 56 seconds to go. It's an extremely tall order in front of them, but they've got the ball with a first down. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. He finds his man, complete. It's Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Wilson's throw here going to be caught by Wilson. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Let's go, baby. Let's have some fun. Let us dictate.
10 seconds to go. To throw again on second down. Wilson. A throw to the flat for Carter. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. A higher-scoring game, Charles, than we typically see in the National Football League, but fun to watch these offenses. They were really clicking. It seemed like everything that they dialed up worked.
Yeah, it certainly was fun to watch from our perspective. How'd you like to be those defensive coaches, though? That wasn't a blast for them at all. And let's face it, they all game plan, they all scout, they all think they're prepared, but executing and stopping teams, that's another matter entirely.